Welcome to today's guide and tutorial on how to be an efficient tank. Do not forget, for more helpful tips on the Twitch and the TikTok, we go live at 10 p.m. CST every single day, no matter the day. We are better than FedEx, so definitely come check us out. If you have questions, we can answer your questions. And no, before you ask, I am not an AI. I am a real person. Hi YouTube, this is BB, a member of chat. He does his best to communicate with a slow person like me. So today, let's get straight into the tank guide. First, you're going to, not a bot, First, you're going to use the Stormbreaker Heaven Quaker Spear. Then you are going to use the Thundercry Blade. Now, what is the Mau color? What's up, Boone? It's my new outfit. It's the Mau. It's Mau from Apothecary Diaries. Anyways, to continue, we're going to go ahead and break down our inner ways. For a PvP attunement build, we are first starting with Exquisite Scenery at tier 6. Owl tank, why isn't bro using sword morph? Okay, Jack. Listen here. He's on the TikTok. If you guys want to interact with the TikTok, you can check out the TikTok too. Sword morph is not necessary for tank. This is just factually incorrect. A lot of high skill tanks will tell you sword morph is good for the build. This is just factually incorrect. Let me get into the micros and macros of the mechanics for the video. We're going to want to start with our number one Exquisite Scenery. What Exquisite Scenery does is it makes our divine counter so great and amazing. Damn, I learned something new from this guide. 10 out of 10. I'm glad. Now I'll stop using sword morph. Thank you, Jack. Thank you. Anyway, let me actually say before I get into here, what you're going to want to do is you want to use Exquisite Scenery, you want to use Moral Chant, you want to use Art of Resistance, and you want to use Light Shadow alike. However, this last slot can be changed, and I'll tell you why. You're bad at this. You're getting distracted. Okay, I'm engaging with chat. Thank you very much. Either way, your must-haves for PvP are going to be Exquisite Scenery. This is going to be your absolute tank and absolute damage. This really just makes the whole build whole. It has lots of critical damage, has a lot of critical bonus, has a lot of critical rate, has a lot of damage on refund, has refund and upkeep. It's a buff, it's a stack, it's just everything you want. So this is a must-have. Tier 6 is going to be your optimal slice. Moral Chant is your next in-slot. This is going to give you a lot of damage and physical penetration, as well as from survivability. Tier 5 is okay to have it at. Tier 6 is going to give you 2% extra damage buff, as well as like these little things that also do damage to the enemy. It's really weird, but this is just another good thing for extra damage on top and extra survivability. Now we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes, if you would. I get it, because it's Scottish, man, of the build. So this pre-CN buff isn't the best. I won't lie to you, it's not the best. After the CN buff, this thing's busted. However, we're pre-CN buff, so we're gonna have to talk about that. This will increase the amount of damage you can take. So basically, it's basically DR and damage reduction for those of you who don't know. And it increases your healing. The healing only really comes into play when you do other game modes. But what this does is, at tier 6, it refunds your health a certain percent amount of HP based on the shield that's left. So basically, it's just a way to heal yourself when you're in PvP. It's just another nice way to heal it. Not only that, it increases the duration that your shield stays up, which is also just helpful, especially in PvP. Now into the go-between. Why I call this go-between is because you don't have to run Light and Shadow alike. It really depends on your skill level. Light and Shadow alike is, in my opinion, one of the better inner ways to rock as a tank or just in general PvP, even if you're just a sword user or a dirty Twin Blade user, you can definitely go ahead and use Light and Shadow alike. It's definitely a good in-slot, gives you a little bit of damage reduction, gives you a little bit of damage on top. It's very nice. It sounds complicated, but it's really not that complicated. The more HP you lose, the more damage reduction you get. The more HP that you take off of them, the more damage you do to them. Like, it's not that complicated. Just don't overcomplicate it. Alternatively, if you want a different type of survivability, you can go Heart of Fire. Heart of Fire essentially gives you a third inner core, which allows you to live just a little bit longer. I prefer the damage reduction plus the extra damage on Light and Shadow alike. Heart of Fire definitely does also work for you. Divine Roulette, a peculiar choice, don't recommend it. You can use it if you want to. At T1, you get 5 bonus ki every successful deflection, no cooldown, which is super, super helpful. However, you kind of want to avoid deflecting too much and you want to focus on dodging more, because deflecting gets your energy down and it kind of just messes you up. You can, of course, also rock Fury Harvest. However, Fury Harvest is not necessary for my build due to the way I have it set up with attunement. If you don't have it set up in the same attunement way I do, you can rock Fury Harvest. And then, of course, say you are just clinically insane and a god at the game. Say you haven't seen grass in days. You can run Breaking Point. You never take damage, you can run Breaking Point. You hit every parry, you can run Breaking Point. If you hit every single dodge, you can run Breaking Point. Why can you run Breaking Point? It's because this gives you an insane amount of direct critical rate. So this is going to bump us up to 8% with the Moral Chat. It's 4% each of direct critical rate, which is insane. This gives you an insane amount of physical penetration and an insane amount of critical damage. So if you're just like a god at the game, you can run Breaking Point and you're just going to eat up your enemies. I recommend only running it at tier 6 though. If you're not running it at tier 6, wouldn't run it. Honorable mention, Bitter Seasons. That's just because I hate healing. Other than that, you don't really have to run that. Okay, now on to weapons and weapons attunement. What matters the most is obviously max attack. Because if they can't, you can't fight back if they're dead, right? If they're dead, they can't fight back, man. So obviously max attack. But for attunements, it's going to be the pretty standard. This is why I don't run Fury Harvest. For both my Spear and my Bowblade, I do recover 20 Vitality after casting Execution. That's 40 Vitality per execution, which means I don't have to run Fury Harvest. That's kind of why I don't run Fury Harvest. That's why I run double Vitality. They do stack. Before you come at me in the comments, they do stack. Now, this will indicate your playstyle as a tank. Why do I say this? This is simply due to the fact there's 2 different types of tanks you can be. The majority of tanks out there are going to be, let me see if I can find it. When a martial arts skill Soar and Grow hits a unit with 30% below ki, knocks them airborne every 10 seconds. Why is this the majority of what people run? Is because it has a great combo opener, and if they're below 30 ki, you can essentially guarantee he sucks, they don't stack. They do stack, VB. They do stack. Unless they changed it, but they do stack. They do stack. I gain 40 Vitality on Execute. I swear they stack. I swear they stack, man. I swear they stack. Either way, you can basically, if they're at 30% ki and you knock them up, this guarantees an exhaust. That's why a lot of people run it. I run the game 0.15 tenacity. Oops, wrong one. I run, after casting 1 second of Predator Shield immediately, they gain 1 HP shield and a super armor for 2 seconds. This helps me against Umbrella players when I make mistakes. It's just like an extra cushion for mistakes. That's why I rock that bad boy. And then for your attunement, okay, I should clarify. So basically, if you're a more cautious player, go for Predator Shield. If you're more of an aggressive player, I would go for the knock-up on the Spear. Now for the attunement for the Pendant, this one, it's up to you as well. They never stack. They've always stacked, man. They've always stacked. I swear to God, they've always stacked. I swear to God, they've always stacked. You can go for either deal 12 bonus ki damage, which I like for extra exhaust, or you can go for the one that deals 12 extra damage on the 3rd phase. Both are good. Both are interchangeable. Both are preference. I prefer the exhaust, so you can go to executes more often. That's just what I prefer. Now for the actual outfits, you're going to be looking at dodging recovers 8% of your max HP. As a tank, that's so much HP. That's 100,000 HP. I'm just kidding, it's not that much. But it is a lot of HP every 10 seconds to recover. That's why I recommend dodging. Now for your gauntlets, what you're going to be doing is 16 ki upon successful deflection. This is going to be your ki uptake. Super, super helpful. For the helmet, you have a couple options. I'm a bit atypical when it comes to this. I prefer when you use your stagger, aka your Serene Breeze, it recovers 30 endurance and has a cooldown of 4 seconds. This reduces my Serene cooldown by 4 seconds, which I really enjoy. You don't have to run it. Most people actually run gain tenacity for 2.8 seconds and super armor after using it, which is super helpful for getting out of combos. It's really up to you. I prefer using Serene more often than the super armor because I am a tank. So it is what it is. I haven't gotten too lucky yet on this bad boy, but the one you're going to be going for is damage reduced taken by 20% when being hit or controlled. Just generally just a great all-around one. And then we recovered ki. Okay, Now, you may be saying, why did we go for extra precision instead of crit? This comes down to the build itself. This is due to the fact tank yellow crit maxes out at 56%. Anything more than that is technically a dead stat. I'm here at 57% crit with kind of a dead stat. So that's kind of why I went for extra precision, so I could go for more maximum physical attack and slack off on a precision attunement. That's essentially what I did there. Obviously, Stone Split is what you're going to be going to. And now to Mystic Skills. Your Mystic Skills, your main Mystic Skills are going to be, of course, your typical Meridian Touch, Free Morph for your combo, Talon Strike for your Guard Breaker, Soaring Spin for your combos, Serene Breeze for protection, Dragon Breath for punishment. Now, Ghostly Steps is good, but you can switch this for literally anything else. Ghostly Steps is basically just for engagement bait, and then Cloud Steps again, once again, for execution. You can swatch Ghostly Steps for Golden Body if you wanted to, or per se Golden Palm, or Flute, or Lion's Roar. Really, really up to you. Or even Toad. I like Toad. I was rocking Toad before I was rocking that bad boy. Now for your combos. Chat is Azia Himbo. How dare you say that, PV? I'm obviously super cool and super awesome. Here, your basic combo is going to be light, Q, slam, light. I kind of messed it up there, but that's the basic combo. Boo. But most importantly though, before every match, actually I shouldn't say that. You really want to gauge it. You want to get your drum beat, and then you want your shield to proc with it. See that little red indicator? That means drum beat will last the entirety of the shield now. As far as the sphere goes, you're going to do engagement, and then you're going to stun them into slams. It's kind of a ping reliant combo, but the full light attack combo is not ping reliant. So you can definitely have fun with that. You can slam them down into a free morph if you wanted to, which also works. Now, onto the Moblade. The Moblade is more of a support weapon, believe it or not. You can go into shield, and you can go into suck. The suck, now as our current update, applies a debuff to them, which slows them down, which is very nice. As far as what Moblade does, Moblade doesn't really have that many combos. You can technically do this into a free morph if their ping sucks, or say you do this and they start parrying every one of your attacks, you can go straight into Talon Strike and break their ki. That's pretty much it. I mean, that's tank. The tank doesn't really got combos. It has one combo. It's with the Heaven Quaker Spear. You can do your knockup and then just endlessly stun them, and then you can go into your lights. The combo is really just light. Wait for you to go around. Light. Go all the way around. And then you can swap to your Moblade and go for an execution if you're on execution time. If not, you can just back away. That's kind of the combo. Say you know they use Serene. Boom. You can just do the full light combo, pin them to the ground, and then free morph. You only want to save free morph for when you know they use Serene. If not, they'll just Serene out of it and you'll get punished. So, that's it for this video, man. Make sure to go ask me any other questions you have on the Twitch, on the TikTok, at AZAZALOFFBRAND on the Twitch and the TikTok. Pretty solid tank. I'm a back-to-back mythic player 5 times. I guess I should have told you my credibility. Actually, no, I'm really just adept 3, if I'm being honest with you, man. I actually just found this guide on the bottom of a trash can, so I'm just kidding. Make sure to follow now. This is definitive answers and definitive proof of how you should use your weapon. The main thing about a tank is to play mind games. Anyways, drink water and follow.